South Carolina legal dynasty.
Y'all know me. I'm an honest man.
Oh, you cheating bastard.
It's only cheating if you get caught.
True crime watchers are loving Murdaugh, Death in the Family on Hulu. But Alec Murdaugh isn't a fan, calling it deeply disappointing from behind bars through his attorneys. He released a statement saying in part, quote, the program contains numerous inaccuracies and misleading portrayals that distort the truth of their lives. Attorney Dick Harpootlian, one of the lawyers who represented Murdaugh in his trial and helped write that statement for him, spoke with me about the reaction to the drama and what's accurate or inaccurate. Dick, good morning to you. Thanks so much for speaking with me.
Well, good morning to you, and thank you for having me on.
Certainly. So first question for you, please. How is Alec Murdaugh watching Hulu in the prison?
He's not. And we put in our statement that he was relying on summaries or characterizations related to him by friends and family and other folks, including me.
That was going to be my next question. So you're watching that? Are you watching every episode?
No, I watched the first episode and a half, and clearly it's not based on fact. I mean, it may be based on fact, but it's not factual. And, you know, it's just like watching a Hallmark TV show that's about Christmas. I mean, it's about the horrible circumstances, but the depictions of what allegedly occurred are nowhere near what really happened. Now, I will say this, though. Patricia Arquette does I mean, I knew Maggie very well. I think she does an extraordinary job of portraying Maggie. And the guy playing, I forget his name, he's a British actor, playing Alec does a great job.
Jason Clarke.
And the guy playing Randolph Murdaugh does a great job. The young actors playing Paul and Buster are okay. Whoever wrote this script needs to be drug tested.
Drug tested. Why do you say that? What's so inaccurate, Dick?
Well, everything. I mean, other than, yeah, Maggie and Paul were killed and Alec had a drug problem and stole a bunch of money. But for instance, in the television show, after the boat crash, after the bond hearing, which I'm depicted in, they go on allegedly go on a trip to the Bahamas, where everybody gets drunk, and they've got Alec out looking to pick up some skank, and Maggie actually looking at somebody. They never went to the Bahamas. There was never a Bahamas trip. And all of that is totally fabricated.
Dick, have you spoken to Buster about his thoughts on the series?
I have not. Jim Griffin, my co-counsel on this case, has talked to Buster, and you know, they're not watching it. But what they hear is, you know, scurrilous. So, again, this is just trying to monetize misery. And again, if people understand they're not watching something that's factual, I mean, the housekeeper who fell down the stairs in this
Gloria Satterfield
version, she is carrying their bags back up the stairs from the Bahamas visit, which was after the boat wreck. She'd been dead 2 years at that point in real life. I mean, you can have literary license to move things around, I guess, but again, nothing in this that I've heard or seen, it's based on fact.
Dick, let's talk about the tragedy that's really at the heart of this, the murders of Maggie and Paul. At this point in time, is Alec Murdaugh still trying to proclaim his innocence?
Yes, he is, because if you look at the evidence as to the murder, not the fact he stole $12 million, if you look at the forensic evidence on the murder, which the jury, well, for two reasons the jury never really considered. One was they spent 2.5 weeks hearing how he had victimized orphans and widows and paraplegics and just despicable conduct. That sort of reduced any ability to give him a fair trial. But more importantly, a judge, a former Chief Justice, had a hearing on the clerk of court, Becky Hill's interference, and found that Becky Hill had tried to convince jurors to vote guilty. that she interfered with the trial in a number of different ways. And so she fixed the jury. And so I don't think that we can say he got a fair trial. And I believe the Supreme Court will give him a new trial, the South Carolina Supreme Court, based on the testimony that Judge Toll elicited during the Becky Hill hearing.
I wanted to ask you about the status of his appeal. So for anyone wondering, where do things stand right now, Dick?
Well, it's been fully briefed. We filed our briefs. They filed their briefs. The Supreme Court has all of that now. They got it about 30 days ago. And, you know, these things take time.
Dick, you sound like you're ready to try the case again. If he gets a new trial, will you try it?
Oh, absolutely. Jim Griffin and I were talking yesterday, and we think that he will get a new trial. Now, I've been wrong before. But if he does get a new trial, we're absolutely representing him. And I talked to Alec day before yesterday, and he's enthusiastic about clearing his name.
Let's ask you a couple questions before we have to let you go about Alec Murdaugh in prison. People wondering what kind of experience this is for him. What kind of prisoner is he? What can you tell us about that, Dick?
Well, he's been the perfect prisoner. He's got no disciplinaries. He does what he's told to do. He helps people because he's a lawyer. Other inmates always ask him about legal issues. He is acclimated to prison life. He keeps himself physically fit and reads. As you indicated earlier, he hasn't had an opportunity to watch much educational television because they're very limited. I think he's making the best of a very bad situation. And by the way, he doesn't blame anybody for him being in prison. He understands he's in prison because he stole a lot of money from people who trusted him. And I don't think he regrets pleading guilty, and I think he understands he's paying the price for what he did.
And what about the murders? Does he not accept responsibility for committing those?
No, and he's not going to, and he shouldn't. I understand the sanctity of the jury verdict, but I've never, ever had a jury that somebody tried to fix. And so in this case, I don't think you can say the jury has spoken or spoken fairly. In their testimony, one of the jurors testified that Becky leaned on her to vote for guilty, not believe Alec. And she indicated to the judge that while she voted guilty, she doesn't believe he's guilty.
Are you visiting him in prison? Have you gone to see him since he's been in?
Where he is, I guess I'm not supposed to say where he is. It's about 3 hours from here. And extraordinarily difficult to get into. Once you get there, it probably takes 45 minutes to go through security, and then you have just a few moments to see him. We have much more in-depth discussions by phone. I don't want your viewership to think he's my best friend. He's not. He's a client, but I think he's a client that didn't get justice, and that bothers me.
Understood. Dick, tell me, how about Buster? What is their relationship like now with him being imprisoned and Buster moving forward without his mother, Maggie, without his brother, Paul?
I think, they have a good relationship. They talk by phone. I don't think Buster goes to the prison much. I'm really not read into how many times he's been down there. Buster got married this past summer to Brooklyn, who sat with him through the entire trial. And he'd been dating long before the murders. So he got married. He's got a job. She's a lawyer. She's got a job. I guess they're trying to do what every other married couple tries to do and get through life. And I think he loves his father, and he talks to his father and do anything to help his father.
Dick Harpootlian, thank you so much for your time, for the discussion. Please keep us posted if you have any more information about the next steps for your client, if there's any word on him receiving a new trial.
Yes, ma'am. Well, thank you for having me on.
Certainly. Thank you kindly. Take care.